So what do you remember about Buffalo Point?
Buffalo Point.
Yep.
I remember very little because I didn't go out there much.
How come?
I went because first of all there was nothing to do for me, and I couldn't swim. I didn't know how to swim, and Mom was really afraid for me to be by water, and I was too young to be alone, you know. So sometimes I had to be with me, and I just remember them. I liked being out there. I was afraid of snakes, though, and I liked being, you know, playing on the beach and just playing with the sticks and, you know, throwing stuff out, and I like that. But I was really afraid of the water.
Mm-hmm.
And I like being out there with Grandpa and Grandma, just, you know, just being around them. And
How come? It seems like they took care of you a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Grandma was always sweet.
What were they like?
Very quiet.
I never met them. I think they held me once when I was a baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
That was it.
They loved kids, but they were always busy.
Doing what?
Doing something. Grandpa was either mending nets or doing, you know, working on the boat or sitting outside doing something. I don't know. They seemed like they were always busy. And Grandma was cooking or straightening things up and doing beadwork and doing, you know, working on something. But I loved going there after school because Mom worked, you know. I'd go there after school and she'd always have something for me to eat, and then she'd say, go lay down, you know, and then go lay down in her bed and take
Soup.
a nap. Always had soup. There's always soup on
What
the
kind of soup?
It's usually a rice soup,
Mm-hmm.
rice or macaroni.
Like a wild rice soup?
No, it's white rice soup. I remember in it.
With chicken or something?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or muskrat?
It could be muskrat. I don't know. There was always soup and bannock.
And bread.
Yeah,
Fry bread.
not fry bread, but bannock, and it was.
Oh,
it
that
was
leavened bread.
Leavened, yeah, and it was round and flat, and put some butter on it. And, it's good. A little bit of tea.
What was their house like?
It was just. Let's see. I'm trying to picture her bedroom. The bedroom was like here, and then there was a little room here where they had a Davenport, and then here was the kitchen, and then she had a table and a stove and a little cupboard, and that's where I had my tea and bannock, and then I'd go in her bedroom, lay on her bed, and her bed was this way, her headboard was this way, and I'd lay down, and then I could kind of see out into her little living room.
She didn't speak English?
She could. If she had to, she could. But she always, and I could understand her. I couldn't speak it as well as, you know, as they could. But I could understand her.
Did Tom speak English?
Tom? Oh yeah. He spoke English a lot better than Grandma did. Grandma would always go away when people would come.
She'd always go in a bedroom or something?
Go in, yeah. And usually they were always outside when people came.
Did they have like a wood house, or it was a...
Yeah. It's a regular house, and it had...
Like a log cabin house? Or?
It was a white man's house. Kind of a white man's house. It was just one level.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have an upstairs. It had a bedroom and kind of what they would call a living, but then the kitchen went this way, and it was one room. And right when you walked in, there was a table there, and her stove was over here, and her cupboards and stuff was over here. Very modest. You know, didn't have shelves, didn't have, you know, it had a little refrigerator. And it was a cook stove.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't
Did they have any?
gas stove.
Did they have sisters, brothers?
Yeah, I think I don't know about Grandpa. Maybe he had a sister. And there was I remember an older woman coming to visit, and I think that maybe was a sister. Long time, you know, I was pretty young. And then Grandma had a brother, and his name was John, but I can't remember if Gardner was her maiden name.
Mm-hmm.
And they came from, I think it was Oak Island or Garden Island or someplace out, you know, in Canada. I remember them coming, but I was pretty little. I didn't pay attention as Lorraine did. Lorraine could speak Chippewa and understand, but And I remember relatives coming, but I never paid attention too much where they were and why Grandpa and Grandma stayed where they were. I think that land was deeded to him,
Mm-hmm.
and
Well, it would have been Honest John, maybe, or
yeah, it could have been. It could have been.
because he had I don't know how'd they make money.
They'd trap and sell their,
The
sell
furs?
their furs
And the wild rice
and
and-
wild rice and fish.
Mm-hmm.
Uncle John was a commercial fisherman.
John D.
John D. When he got out of the
Navy.
Navy, I think he bought that boat, and he and Les would sell fish and sell fish to the fisheries. And
Oh, John D. His uncle.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and Les helped. And then in the wintertime he would work with the mink ranchers,
Mm.
Les would. And then they moved to the cities,
Him and Juanita.
him and Juanita. And he worked for a factory or something down there. He had a job. And she did too. She did some nursing. She was a LP.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, licensed practitioner.
There you go. And then they adopted Dale Allen.
And he was young, or like a baby. Or?
Yeah. It was a relative of hers, of Juanita's, and she was a young girl, and had gotten pregnant, and so then I don't know if she took care of her, or helped take care of her, or this girl, and then they adopted when she had the baby. Then they adopted the baby.
The LeDuc family.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, Dale Allen. And then, and Les always wanted to go back to Warroad.
So then they moved back.
No, they went to Crookston.
Oh, they went to Crookston.
They went to Crookston, and he went to, and while they were living in the cities, he went to school to become a radio broadcaster.
Uh-huh.
And that his first job was at Crookston, KROX.
Yeah.
And he worked there.
He was a sports jockey or something, right?
So,
Or
yeah,
disc
and he
jockey or
did
something?
news.
He
He did news
okay.
and stuff like that. When you're in a small town like that, you do all kinds. Just like here, you're not always specialty.
Yeah, he was the Jason Brandt
Yes.
of Crookston.
Crookston, because it wasn't as big as it is now. And then they were coming home for Christmas, and I can't remember if they had Dale Allen then, but I'm sure he did. They did, and they got in a car accident. And she was with a broken leg, and she
Mhm.
ended up in the hospital. And she was there for a long time.
Right, and they had to amputate her.
Yes, because it hadn't cleaned it out,
Yeah.
and gangrene or whatever set in.
Mhm.
And it was crazy. Shouldn't have happened. Shouldn't have happened.
Where was the accident?
Right between
Roseau.
Roseau and Fox.
Oh.
They were coming down a hill, and they slid and they went off.
Oh, it was a one person or one car accident.
One
It wasn't
car.
someone-
Yeah, no, it was
Huh.
it wasn't.
He was driving.
Yeah, I think he was driving.
Was it late at night or something, or?
Well, yeah, because they were coming home for Christmas.
Huh.
And it was
Oh, maybe it was really slick.
Yeah,
then.
slick there.
Ice.
Yeah. And they didn't clear like they do now.
Yeah.
They didn't have the equipment to do that, I guess. And but what was so awful is that she laid there for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And when they got her down to Minneapolis, the wounds hadn't been cleaned out as good as
Yeah.
That's why they had to amputate it. I don't know. I think she sued, but didn't
They didn't get anything
They didn't get that much. I think they got something
from the hospital.
from the hospital, or the doctors, or whatever. But
Did they live at home then, or they lived in?
they lived in Crookston then.
They lived in Crookston.
They were living in
Oh,
Crookston.
I see. Then they came back to World for Christmas.
They were on their way back to Crookston.
And then
Yeah,
did they move from Crookston? When did they move back to Warroad?
I think after that stint in the cities, then he worked in the cities,
Uh-huh.
and then they lived there, and I don't know why he moved. Oh, he came back. They moved back to Warroad, and he started working at Marvin's.
Oh, weird. Huh.
Yeah,
I mean, not weird.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, but
he left the
wanted
DJ.
to come. Yeah, and I think he was working in a factory or something in Minneapolis to make more money to be able to live there. Because it was expensive to live there.
Mm-hmm.
And then he always wanted to come back. He always wanted to live in Warroad, and And I think he even wanted to work. He was going to work at Marvin's, and I'm just wondering if he didn't work there for a little while before he died.
And that was where Grandma was working too?
Yeah, yeah.
Did she get him the job?
Don't know.
Probably.
Yeah.
And Hans was passed away at this point?
No. He was living in Minneapolis, and he was working in Minneapolis, and he stayed there for a long time.
Uh-huh. So Les moved back when he was in his 40s?
Yeah, it was about that. Yeah. Moved back, and I'm just trying to think of when he and Dale Allen, they both drowned.
Yeah. I mean, he was 12, Dale
Yeah, he
Allen,
was-
something
he
like
was
that.
12,
Is what I
yeah.
remember.
Yeah,
I have the date somewhere. I think it was in the...
yeah. Oh.
I don't think I ever met them either.
No, because I was in Ottumwa then
When he died,
when
yeah.
he died.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
It
you were
was not
probably 22.
20, yeah, because
And-
that's junior college then.
Yeah, and he would have been...
20 maybe.
Yeah, 20.
Yeah.
That would have made him maybe 45.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Hans
20
was
years apart.
41. Something like that, 42. And Hans was in... Or Hans or Hans?
Hands.
Hans was in Minneapolis.
Yes. Yeah. In fact, I think that's when I left Ottumwa to come home. He picked me up in Minneapolis.
Hans.
Hans did.
And drove you.
And we came home
Wait, I thought you got when you... Oh, I'm sorry.
and
Yeah.
took a train.
Ottumwa to go to the funeral? Or no?
Yeah, because I. Oh, was I in Grand?
You were
was
in,
I in Colorado?
You were in
then?
Colorado
I was in
when
Colorado then,
Les
yeah.
died.
Mm-hmm.
Because Aubrey drove you back.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
So Aubrey was a farmer. No, not a farmer.
He was a supervisor at a
Factory.
the factory. And I worked there because when I went out there, then he got me a job there. Made meters for airplanes, and I had to wear eyepiece, and I soldered those little things.
Yeah.
To it.
With a nylon dress or something.
Yeah, I had to wear nylon. You couldn't have any,
Couldn't have anything that would catch feathers or lint or anything.
Yeah, lint. Any lint. We had to wear nylon
Mm-hmm.
suits.
You got that job from
Aubrey's
Aubrey's wife or something, or Aubrey's friend.
No, Aubrey worked there, but he worked in a different department.
There was a woman that got
yeah.
you the job.
Eva Dumas.
Eva Dumas, yeah.
She was my relative, not a relative, but she lived across the street from us. And then she moved out there because Aubrey, who was the man, his wife, was a good friend of Eva's. And he had two grown children, not grown children, but two children, and then his wife died delivering twins.
Mm-hmm.
And so they moved out there, and they were there about a year or so. And she died delivering these twins. He didn't know what to do, and he said he knew that Aubrey had come home because her mother was old, and so she moved out there to help him to take care of those kids while he was working because they hadn't been out there very long anyway. And they ended up getting married, and so then that's how I went
Aubrey
out.
and Eva
Aubrey and Eva
got married.
Got married.
Eva Dumas.
Dumas, yeah.
And who was the woman before? What was her name? Do you remember?
I don't know her name.
So Aubrey was there in Grand Junction, Colorado,
yeah.
and Eva said, "Hey, why don't you move out here to work in the factory?"
No, I went to Hawaii then. From there, then I went to Hawaii, and I was there for 2 years. And when I came back to Warroad, I didn't know what I was going to do, and that's when she said, "Come on over." Here.
Oh, so you went from Ottumwa to Hawaii, or to Warroad, and then
to
Hawaii,
Warroad and to Hawaii,
and then Hawaii to
Grand
Warroad,
Junction.
and then you moved
Grand
to
Junction,
Grand.
yeah.
How'd you get from? You were flying, and so you flew from Warroad to Grand Junction, or you drove, or took a train, or something.
No, I drove. No, I flew to Grand Junction. I flew to Grand Junction. I don't think I didn't drive.
Or did you take a train and they picked you up at the airport, at the train
Train
station?
depot. That could be too. I don't know. I don't remember how I got there. Oh, I think Aubrey and their oldest daughter came home
To Warroad?
to Warroad for was for. Maybe they came to get me.
Mm-hmm.
And because I remember they came to Ward and I went back to Grand Junction with them. What was her name? She was about
And you lived with
50.
them?
Yeah, I lived with them. They had a big house. There was two twin beds in the oldest daughter's room, and I lived with them and worked at the meter factory.
And they housed you, fed you, and
Yes, and
then you got a
I
job.
paid the minimal
Yeah.
rent. Yep.
Do you ever talk to them or like the kids anymore, or have you ever?
You know, I don't. He passed away, and I don't know where they went. I know they left Grand Junction, and
What was his last name? Aubrey.
Thole, Theole.
Oh, Theo.
Aubrey Thole, yeah. And they had, I can't remember the girl's first name. Tall blonde girl, and she was about 13 when I was there. And then they had a boy, Mark. Then they had a set of twins, and then they had a little girl, really young. I'd have to look up on my stuff and get the names again. But Thole was his name, and he was the head guy in the department that I worked in, for meters. Worked at they had a conveyor thing, and you take a meter out, and you solder the joints together, put it back on, and go on.
Was this
You had to wear eyepiece.
a little magnifying glass?
Yeah.
Sounds really boring.
But
Like
you know,
repetitive.
the nice thing was that we're all doing the same thing, and we talked,
Ah.
you know, and then we had our coffee
visit.
together.
Ah.
And you know, it was nice. It was mostly women, because guys aren't going to sit there. They just aren't going to sit there and. That's my washing machine.
Is that what that is? That was a weird noise. It sounds like water gurgling.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe it's just from downstairs.
I think it's downstairs.
So why you stayed there for how long?
2 years.
And then
And then I
why'd
wanted to
you
go back
leave?
to school.
Oh, you want to go
I
back to
wanted
school.
to go back to
So then you moved to Bemidji,
Yep.
and you got in there because you were native,
Yep.
or you had a
Yeah.
because
I had gone to Ottumwa.
a Tumwa already,
Yeah.
so you had grades.
Yeah, I had grades.
Decent
I had 2
grades?
years done, you know. And when I went out there, they thought that it would be easier for me to have get a job, and it was, you know, because I'd had 2 years of college.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't on. I didn't want. That was the other thing. There was a boy that was working there, and he asked me out, and we went out a couple times, and he kept asking me out, and he was not weird, but he was short and blonde, and I just didn't like him. I didn't even want to date him.
Why'd you just say no?
I don't know. I just and he kept I know. And how I got rid of him, I said, you know, I am not going to get married. I'm not, you know, I just don't want to have to say. I said, I talked him into joining the Navy. And he did.
That's pretty
He
cool.
joined the Navy. And he wrote, and he said he wrote to me regularly, and he was telling his parents that I was making plans for a wedding when he had. I wanted out of that place so bad. Avery Campbell was his name. Oh, it was so awful. Oh. He was a short blonde guy. Oh. His parents are really nice, and Aubrey and Eva thought he was nice, and I told Eva what my feelings were one night. One night we stayed up late because she had these. We loved it. She'd put a towel on the table so when we'd have tea.
Mm-hmm.
And we were sitting there visiting, and it must have been midnight. And Aubrey came up, woke up, and he said, "What are you women doing out here?" And we thought we were being so quiet, and we were, because we'd done it a couple times before, and made us go to bed. And I thought, God, this is not the way I want to be married. And so I quit my job and came home.
The world.
The world, yeah.
And then you
Went back to
applied.
school.
You applied to Bemidji and got in.
Yeah. And started school. And
What did you do in war? You worked at a
worked at the hotel.
Restaurant.
I worked at Cal's.
Cal's.
Yeah.
It's not there anymore, right?
Yeah, Cal's out on the
Oh,
beach.
out on the beach.
Yeah, yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you worked at the hotel.
I
one.
did work at the hotel. That was before I went to college.
Oh, before. Then that
Before.
was the crusty old lady.
Yeah, it is. Oh, what was, Eva. Not Eva. No. What was her name? She was married to Bomber Dumas. Oh, gosh, what was her name?
Wait, the crusty old lady?
Crusty old lady.
She was
yeah.
a Dumas?
Yeah, she was married to Bomber Dumas. But that was the second marriage of both of them. I think their spouses had died. Bomber lived across the street from us, and she lived in town.
So Dumas was the crusty old lady?
No, well, it was when she married Bomber.
When she got married.
Yeah, when she got married. Yeah, I can't remember what her name was before.
But she was
got
related
married.
to Eva?
No, Eva was Bomber's sister. Her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, that she married.
But I mean, she was related through marriage
Yeah.
to the chef
Yes.
that didn't want to make omelets.
Yeah, she didn't know how to make an omelet. Who in the hell ordered an omelet?
And it was a married couple or something.
Yeah, it was a young newlyweds, and they were on their way to Kenora for their honeymoon. I don't know where they were from, but I just, got out of the way.
She made the omelet for him, though?
Well, she tried.
So Eva Dumas knew Bomber as a brother,
Yeah, Eva and Bomber were brother
and sister, and
yeah.
then this crusty old lady was... Did Bomber own the restaurant?
No, I don't know where he worked. I'm not sure where Bomber worked. But
Did she own the place, or she was just the cook?
No, she was just the cook.
I
And
see.
but she was she'd been a fry cook all her life. Mm-hmm. I don't even think she had any children. But they got together. I mean, they just kind of maybe met in the bar, and I don't know if they married, but they were together for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
But she did.
That does not sound good, actually.